One point of view. My hands crawled up the sheet, covering the mattress immediately, and my hair stood on end. The caution gave rise to panic, like a leaf blown by a storm. Cool liquid, my sweat covered my forehead before my quivering voice came shaky and a little unclear. I was sold to someone. He was at loss for words, and the next few seconds passed with me recalling the day when Miss Priyanka punished me and sold me to that bad man. You were sold by whom? His voice sounded upset, furious maybe, as if he heard something unexpected. He was staggered. The lady who was in charge of the orphanage I lived in. I revealed. To whom? The caution submerged me with horrifying memories. To a man. He was a find. I wished to confess, but was thrown into a state of panic. My heart was hammering against my ribcage. It was an intense anxiety, which caused the physical sensation of fear in me. Dizziness, trembling, and muscle tension, all of it poured together. Take a deep breath. He embraced me around the waist and hugged me warmly. The hug was too tight, but wonderfully calming. His chest was tough yet comfortable. My choked windpipe had air back. I was breathing his masculine aroma mixed with coffee vanilla fragrance. I embraced him back, and so did my tear glistens. I feel safe. I couldn't anticipate either harm or hurt, emotionally or physically. The hug made me feel less vulnerable. Forget about it. You don't have to compulsory answer it. Take your time, doll. Pulling apart and tucking back the mid-length ends of my hair, which were tracing my neckline, he continued. Get some rest. You'll feel better. I nodded before he tugged me and wrapped me snugly with a blanket. Author's point of view. Your jumbled strings of thoughts were solved when Jungkook carefully tucked you into the cozy covers. Though for you to doze off this early was rare, this time you were fast asleep. A step fast stood Jungkook. His non-verbal expressions spoke louder than the words could. His head was tilted quizzically. A look of puzzlement crossed his face. Did I just hug her? He stopped and peered intently at her now calm face. I just wanted to feel her against me. He persuaded himself. Go on then. You can have all of her for yourself. His subconscious suggested. I have all the power to claim her in any or every moment. But for now, I would prefer my pet. He brushed aside the question he had no precise answer for. Yes, the sexual tension was at its peak when he was around you, but the hug was a pure reflection of the trouble he felt seeing you in a terrible condition. He had assumed the correct answer without you even mentioning the details of you being sold. She was sold to a man. His mind read the fact, and his eyebrows scrunched together. His forehead creased, lips tightened, jaws tense, and nostrils fair with a paltry thought. Even though he had known the fact, he knew you were not sexually molested by a buyer. You were not traumatized by a man's touch, Jungkook's touch, hence proving of you not being a victim of sinful actions. What was it then? Did the man raise his hand on her? He recalled the moment he gagged her mouth with the tea. Your flawless skin had no marks. Your face too was all rosy, with no bruises. He was sure not a single finger was laid on you. Then why did she seem so petrified? Jake. His mind clicked. Taking hold of his phone, which had a jet black cover with blood thumb printed on it from earlier today, he dialed his loyal right hand. Get Vian's info. Yes, boss. But should I put the other mission I am working on aside for now? No. You need to find him. Just prioritize the now given task for the next 24 hours. As you say, boss. Hanging up, Jungkook sighed. Taking a last glance at her baby face, he departed to the sofa for completing the piling work. The rising sun cast was rosy across the morning blue sky. Golden fingers of sunlight lit up the Jungkook's room you were peacefully sleeping in. The just rising sun shone softly on your pinkish cheeks, bringing with it a flurry of early morning activity. The optic nerve in your eyes sensed the morning light, and you started to wiggle and stretch within the cozy warm blanket in the bed. As parts of your body were gradually turning on, you realized today you promised to leave. Unlocking your eyes, you realized you were already late, as you could feel the sun was high. Slipping off the bed, you walked towards the restroom with careful steps, as the distance wasn't counted by you earlier. Before you could grab the knob to the door of the restroom, the door slid open, and Jungkook blocked the way. "You are up already?" His velvety voice was deep and sounded hoarse, in an attractive way. His voice held power, and so did his body, well built up, a hulky, and a chiseled chest with cool water droplets relacing his hot body. Though a treat to the eyes, the deep dark marks were disturbing. A little slip of eyes would lend one see his perfect waist and muscular thighs, which were hugged by a piece of observant cloth, towel. Unfortunately, those eyes were not yours, but that didn't stop you from knowing the fact. You were able to feel the heat radiating from his bare body. "I'm sorry, I couldn't keep the promise. The sun is high up already, but I'll take a leave now." Giving a clenched half smile, you sighed, maintaining a saggy body posture. Your head was tilted slightly to the side, and you were not keeping your eyes straight on towards his voice. "Put the departure idea to rest." Exiting the restroom and taking a step closer to you, he declared. His pleasant scent somewhat strong traveled through your nose and filled your lungs because of the close proximity. "You'll be staying here," he declared once again, but it sounded more like an order. "I shouldn't be here. This isn't my home," you quickly answered with uncertainty lagging in your tone. "You either way are an orphan. You got no home to go," he bluntly remarked, the very first thought that crossed his mind. His unfiltered words tore your heart. The salty liquid formed in your eyes, and a stinging pain formed a lump in your throat. His words stabbed you again and again. The pain went on, regardless of your multiple efforts to not feel hurt. "I'll take a leave. Thank you for helping me." Disregarding his order, dropping the conversation, and keeping your head as low as you could hide the tears, you bid it a goodbye after bowing a 90-degree respect. Feeling the corners of the fluffy mattress, you walked in the opposite direction of the bed. Exactly like he had detailed the room to you, the door was right opposite to the bed. Brushing your hand against the door, you felt the artistic work on it, and getting hold of the knob, you twisted it. The door was locked. "It's locked," he completed. His eyes were hardened and narrowed into slits after witnessing you disobeying his order to stay. Taking long strides towards you, he slammed his hand on the door fiercely, earning a terrible flinch from you. Trapping your tiny self in between him and the door, he warned, "Don't you ever turn your back on me while I'm talking to you again." His scary, raspy voice was unsettling because of the way it sounded, and you shrank into the door immediately. "I didn't mean to disrespect you." You tried to gather words while tears silently ran down your cheeks from sorrow. None of your sufferings came to his notice, nor your tear-stricken face was bare to his beastly eyes, as your head was completely hung low. You don't get to make decisions like that without my approval. I won't tolerate this kind of behavior from you. You need to learn how to be respectful and obedient, or else I won't mind spanking your bare in the air with my open palms until blood shines under your skin. Uttered with a hostile glare, he harshly clasped your nape and roughly tugged you close to his face. His fuming gaze finally had a glimpse of your miserable state. Your face was all red and scrunched up. Eyes were squeezed shut in fear. Tears were streaming down your face as you sobbed uncontrollably, and your shoulders trembling with the force of your emotions. I scared her. He cursed himself. His consciousness was weighted with the fear of owning up his mistake. He bitterly regretted losing control to the beast in him. But in a fraction of a second, another thought molded his feeling. So what? She had it coming. His muscle tensed with the recall of you disobeying him. Never in his life has anyone dared disobey him. You were the first, or maybe the last too. Punish her. Let her know her place. She is merely a silicon doll meant to provide pleasure. So treat her the way you have treated every single woman so far. Grab her waist by one, with another choke her, and until she learns her lessons well. His savage notions were full of immorality. Feeling his simmer breath hitting your pouty lips, you had a sense of doom. Unlocking your eyes softly, you sought his forgiveness. I shouldn't have dropped the conversation in between. I should have asked you first. I'm sorry. Please accept my apology. I won't do it again. The stutter in your voice overwhelmed him with discomfort. The distress in your innocent eyes had melted him into a blunt tingle. The agony in his heart escalated from a dull throb to a burning, glaring strain. Why the is she so innocent? She isn't. She disobeyed you. Can I count that as her fault? She has no clue of who I am. Tell her then, you are no one to mess with. A mafia who could slit open her throat for disobeying you in the first place. Another unanswered question. Why hasn't he disclosed to you about him being a mafia? Does he fear you not accepting him? Or has it been a mere coincidence? He sighed in the result of multitudinous thoughts, and shrugging off the wrath, he strived to calm you in a serene tone. Shh. Take your time and relax. His voice was utterly calm and unruffled. It hurts. He struggled to form words as he let out a series of hiccups, tears of pain still streaming down your face because of the stinging pain you felt from his death grip on your nape. He rebuked himself for his actions. Gently, yet immediately, he unclasped his hold on your nape. It was thoughtless of me to hold you that way. You can blame me for it. Accepting, he held your wrist. Bringing you to the bed, he made you sit on the edge of the fluffy mattress. Tell me, what are you feeling? I'm listening. Does it hurt a lot? He kneeled close to you on a single knee. He remained reserved despite him asking you, and noticing you refraining from sharing how you feel, he continued. You have to see the bigger picture, Van. You have zero clue of the city you are in. The person you are sold to won't let you slide off so easily. Understand, I can't let you go, but if you still want to, I won't stop you. You will let her go? Never. Deep down, he was aware he was luring you into a trap. He just wanted you by his side, by hook or by crook, convincing you or by forcing you. He cared less about the means. The end mattered to him. Your innocence was his to ruin, and only his. In the end, his words had quite an impact on you. I don't want to meet that man ever again. Just a mere thought of that man shook you to your core. Though you feared Jungkook, yet according to you, he wasn't a bit close to the man whom you were sold to. Well on one side, ditch on another was the kind of a situation you were in. Now you had to choose, falling into which would hurt you less, and Jungkook seemed harmless to you. So innocent of you to think this. Concluding, you requested, "Can I work here as a maid in return for staying here?" Jungkook's eyes were cemented on your pleasant face. He wasn't blinking, most certainly because he knew women die finding way to spend life in luxury, with no manual work in their basket. And here you were willing to work. It was uniquely new and certainly pleasing in a way for him to witness so. However, your pure innocence came attached with cons, and by now, Jungkook's idea were already corrected with how to swirl around your request in his favor. A smirk began to play on his lips before his velvety voice came demanding. "Doll, I have no intentions of denying your request. I'll approve it with a slight change. You will work here as my playmate in return of staying here."